An invisible tremor is spreading quietly across the country. Americans are beginning to leave. They are not leaving America because they want to. They are leaving because America is no longer as livable as it once promised. More than 4,000 federal employees have been laid off. The labor market has lost its direction, and millions of Americans, especially those over 55, look at their retirement accounts and see emptiness. In Texas, an ordinary apartment can reach $2,000 a month. In California, one medical bill can wipe out an entire year of savings. In Florida, thousands of seniors admit, "We are living to pay fees, not to live." Outside America, there are still islands where $1,500 a month is not just enough, but more than enough for you to live comfortably, kindly, and peacefully. Islands where the ocean breeze doesn't carry bills, where sunsets are not sold by the hour, where life doesn't demand you run faster just to stay in place. Today, you will see 5 such islands, places beautiful enough to heal, cheap enough to live honestly, and safe enough to start over, even when America is shaking. Let's begin. Your compass is turning toward the sea. If there is a place more beautiful than Hawaii but costs only 1/5 as much, would you move there? Dream it. Pack it. Go. 5. Bali, where your retirement starts to breathe again. If you have ever wondered whether there is a place in the world that allows you to slow down, truly slow down, without worrying about every dollar, without feeling like you're falling behind America, then the answer may be in Bali. This island not only holds the kind of tropical beauty that mesmerizes travelers, it also offers something American retirees are searching for more than ever: a life that is genuinely lighter and a budget that can actually be managed. Bali appears like a painting where every detail makes your heart soften. Ancient Hindu temples like Uluwatu or Besaki rest quietly on cliffs. Lush green rice terraces stretch all the way to the horizon. Jungles, hot springs, and blue oceans break against the shore in the sound of wind. But nature isn't the only thing that creates its charm. The way life here moves with a strange balance between tradition and modernity. That is what keeps the Americans who have chosen Bali as their place to pause. And what surprises many people most is that the cost of living in Bali is so low, you have to ask again to believe it. One person can live on $501,000 a month for food, transportation, utilities, coffee, and daily life. A long-term apartment is only $300–500, while a spacious villa with a private pool, something many people only dream of in the US, is just $701,000 a month. Local meals are only $1 and $2. International standard coffee is half the price of Starbucks, and a motorbike that lets you travel the entire island costs just $40–60 a month. When you add everything together, the total cost of living for an American in Bali usually falls around $901,400 a month, far lower than the average U.S. national rent alone. But the low cost is only the surface. What makes Bali the choice of tens of thousands of Americans, Europeans, and Australians is the feeling of living at the right pace, not being swept away by the intense rhythm of urban life. The streets of Ubud full of people doing yoga in the early morning. The cafes in Canggu, where expats work remotely all day in soft music. Or the afternoons in Seminyak, where people simply sit on the beach and watch the sun sink into the water. All create a rhythm of life that you cannot find in any city in the United States. The local people in Bali are gentle and willing to help. Even though not everyone speaks fluent English, almost everyone communicates well enough for you to feel ease and comfort. This makes Americans new to Bali avoid the culture shock that happens in many other places. In addition, the slow pace of life, relatively good security, and a large expat community, estimated at 30,000, 50,000 people, help retirees feel they are not alone. You will always have someone to share lunch with, to visit temples with, to learn meditation with, or simply sit at a cafe and talk about the life you've lived half of already. Bali is also one of the rare islands with strong enough infrastructure that you never feel deprived. Stable internet, quality private hospitals, fully stocked international supermarkets, hundreds of restaurants of every style, and especially Ngurah Rai International Airport connecting to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Dubai. Convenient transit points for flights back to the US. Americans get 30-day visa exemption and can easily extend for another 30 days, suitable for long vacations or a transition period before you decide to stay longer. And then, when you look at all the factors, low cost, large community, beautiful nature, deep culture, full infrastructure, you will begin to understand why people call Bali the island of the gods. Not because of the temples, but because of the way the island gives people a sense of peace they thought they had lost. Because at some point in life, you no longer look for the most crowded place, the most expensive place, or the most modern place. You look for a place that helps you breathe deeply, sleep well, eat properly, focus on what matters, and live a life you truly choose. And for many Americans leaving California, Florida, or Hawaii because the cost is too high, Bali is that place. If there is a place on the map that makes you ask, maybe I deserve to live this gently, then Bali is the perfect beginning. But if you want a place even cheaper and greener than Bali, then the next island will surprise you. 4. PHANGAN, the island of second chances. The island where Americans find their breath again. PHANGAN is not just a tourist island. Those who have once been exhausted by life in the US call it by an almost sacred name, the island of second chances. A place you come to because you want to run away for a while, but stay because you feel yourself coming back to life. Jonathan, 57 years old, Seattle, once sat at midnight looking at skyrocketing health insurance bills, rent hitting $3,000, and his back hurting from overworking. He looked at his life and honestly said, "If my 50s are like this, then what will my 60s be?" So he packed his suitcase, booked a flight, and took a boat to PHANGAN. The moment he stepped off the Thong Sala pier, Jonathan understood why people call this the healing island. No car horns, no tension, only the sound of waves and the wide smiles of Thai people. A small bamboo cafe owner told him in Thai English sincerity, "Here, life is simple. No worry." That sentence, to him, was worth more than every therapy session over many years. In PHANGAN, things that seem like luxuries in the US become ordinary. A private wooden bungalow facing a coconut garden for less than $700, $900 a month. A hot seaside meal for only $2 to $4. A yoga session for just a few dollars. An internet so fast that many digital nomads call this the cheapest remote work paradise in Asia. But low prices are only the tip of the iceberg. What surprised Jonathan even more was that the infrastructure and services for foreigners here were far better than he expected. Bangkok Hospital Samui International Hospital is only 30 minutes away by boat, where doctors speak fluent English and accept even US insurance. Right on PHANGAN, there are also many small clinics handling everything from colds to basic emergencies, and service prices are only a fraction of the US. Jonathan said that once when he had a fever, he went to a private clinic, got a rapid test, saw a doctor, received full medication, and paid only $28, the amount he used to pay just to sit in the waiting room in Seattle. In terms of legality, Americans entering Thailand receive a 60-day visa exemption, which can be extended for another 30 days right at the island's immigration office with just a few paperwork steps. If they want to stay longer, there are tourist visas, education visas, Thai language study, yoga study, or retirement visas for people over 50, extremely suitable for the middle-aged community seeking a lighter life. But what kept Jonathan attached wasn't the easy paperwork, but the community. In PHANGAN, you will meet 60-year-old Americans learning to dive, Japanese people opening small sushi shops, Koreans opening yoga studios, and Europeans who come here to heal after burnout. Everyone comes because they are exhausted. Everyone stays because they found a new family. In the morning, people meditate under the flying forest. In the afternoon, they work in seaside cafes. In the evening, they talk by firelight in peaceful bars on Had Yao Beach. Strangers suddenly become soulmates after just a few days. Here, no one asks you, "How much do you earn?" They ask, "Did you sleep well? Are you happy today?" Safety on the island is also among the best in the region. Locals are gentle, crime is rare, and the expat community supports each other strongly. Many Americans say they feel safer here than in many major cities back home. Nature is so beautiful that people have to breathe softly. The seawater clear as crystal, the Phang waterfall pouring white in the forest, the night sky lit with stars like a movie. Jonathan said it had been a long time since he saw a sunset so beautiful. It made people go silent. And the most wonderful thing is the feeling of no longer being strangled by living costs like in the US. No $100 utility bills. No $600, $900 health insurance. No stress of urban life. When I was in the US, I lived to pay bills. When I'm in PHANGAN, I live to live. Jonathan said that, and many people in their 50s, 60s who come here say the same. PHANGAN is not a perfect paradise, but it is a place where you can start over, without needing too much money, without needing too many reasons, just enough courage to arrive. And the moment Jonathan looked up, he saw the sky in PHANGAN so blue it made him unable to breathe, because it was too beautiful. If that small moment makes your heart tremble a little, leave a like and hit subscribe gently. Every day, I will take you to places where life becomes easier to breathe, cheaper, and much more beautiful than you ever imagined. 3. PALAWAN, Philippines. The place where you find a lighter version of yourself. There are moments in life when you wake up and suddenly realize you've lived too long among noise, among bills that never stop, among short breaths when thinking about medical costs and rent in the US. And then you ask yourself, is there a place in the world where life is no longer a race? If that question has ever crossed your mind, then Palawan might be the answer you've unknowingly overlooked for so long. Palawan is unlike any place you've ever been. No noise, no crowds, no bright nights like Bali or Bangkok. This is a chain of more than 1,700 islands, where jade-colored seas embrace limestone cliffs rising tens of meters high, where ancient forests whisper as if speaking to time itself, where the locals move slowly, kindly, and speak English so well it makes any American feel at ease from the very first minute. You don't need to adapt. You just need to breathe. The island isn't densely populated, not commercialized. And it is this lack of hurry that creates something wonderful you can hardly find in other famous beach paradises. A living space that truly belongs to you. In El Nido, you can sit on a small boat drifting between calm bays, surrounded by towering cliffs. In Coron, you can dive into coral reefs vibrant as paintings. In Puerto Princesa, you can travel along the underground river recognized as a UNESCO heritage site, where the only sounds are flowing water and the gentle flutter of bat wings in the dark. And right in the middle of that majestic beauty is a truth that makes many Americans freeze. Life in Palawan is so cheap, it makes you wonder why you didn't come here sooner. According to 2025 data from livingcost.org, the average cost for one person, including rent, is only about $638 month. You didn't mishear, $638 for an entire month. A local meal is only about $2 to $3, gas is cheap, internet is cheap, and one-bedroom apartments cost only a few $100s. Prices just 1/5 of the US. With all expenses combined, staying under a $1,500 month budget in Palawan is not possible, but nearly effortless. But if you think Palawan is only about low cost, you will miss the most important part. The feeling of living here is unlike anywhere else on Earth. This is a place where you start a morning by opening your door and smelling sea air cleaner than any American city. A place where a few steps take you to a local market full of laughter and dishes made with the simplest sincerity. A place where you sit with a cup of coffee, look at the shimmering sea, and ask yourself why you spent so many years in stress without knowing that a lighter life existed out there. The people of Palawan are friendly to a level you can hardly believe. They invite you to eat, show you the way, and tell you about the small islands only locals know. English is the main language of the Philippines, and this makes Americans almost instantly integrate. No cultural barriers, no feeling of being lost, no fear that you won't know how to talk to anyone. The expat community in Palawan is not very large, but that is exactly what gives the island its character. No crowding, no mass of long-term tourists. Foreigners who live here are usually those who choose a peaceful lifestyle, work remotely seasonally, or simply choose Palawan to rest from an overwhelming life back home. You will meet Americans who go diving every morning, Europeans who wake up early to practice yoga by the beach, Australian elderly couples strolling slowly every afternoon, all sharing one thing. They come here to reclaim the balance life once took away. Legally, Palawan also offers rare convenience. U.S. citizens get 30-day visa-free entry and can extend easily if they want to stay longer. The island is connected through Puerto Princesa and El Nido airports, usually transiting through Manila or Cebu, familiar, uncomplicated routes. Domestic flights run constantly, allowing you to explore many other small islands without spending too much time or money. So what makes Palawan truly stand out? Perhaps it is the feeling of being hidden away, yet safe. A place so beautiful it makes people fall silent. A place clean, pristine, and not industrialized. A place where you can live close to the sea, close to the forest, and close to yourself. Something too many people in the U.S. have forgotten amid years of working and racing against the cost of living. Palawan is not a place you come to show off. It is a place you come to find a lighter, healthier, and happier version of yourself. And sometimes, at age 55, 60, or 70, that is the greatest gift you can give yourself. But Palawan has a secret that you will only understand when you live here. And that is why Americans 60+ call it the place where your heart goes on vacation. 2. ISLA HOLBOX. The place where you put your burdens down and hear life whisper again. There are moments that make you look back and realize you have lived too long in the sound of traffic, in rising bills, in a pace of life that no longer belongs to your heart. And then, a question suddenly appears. Is there a place peaceful enough, cheap enough, slow enough for me to start again in the exact rhythm of my own breath? That answer lies in Isla HOLBOX, a small island almost separated from the world, where time seems to slow down so you can hear yourself. HOLBOX is special from the way it lives. No cars, no engine noise, only bicycles and small electric carts rolling slowly on the sand. The air is so pure that any American who steps here must pause because of its lightness. The HOLBOX shoreline is long, with fine golden sand and shallow water as green as glass. The afternoon descends slowly, as if the sun itself does not want to leave. The island is beautiful, but not showy. No giant resorts, no noisy nightlife. And when night falls, the beach suddenly glows with bioluminescent waves, a magical blue light that makes you feel as if you are standing inside a living painting. The thing that surprises Americans most about HOLBOX is not just the beauty, but the unexpectedly low cost of living. According to International Living, a studio is only about $345 USD month, a two-bedroom apartment about $500 USD month, even when adding the extra cost of transporting goods. The total living expenses usually fall between $1,000 and $350 USD month, easily staying under the $1,500 USD many retirees set as their limit. HOLBOX lives by a very human rhythm. Slow, wholesome, simple. The people fish, cook, serve travelers. Everyone greets you with a smile. The small beach bars only play soft music, and no one pressures you to be more successful. You just need to live, be present, and enjoy. The island does not have a large expat community, and that is precisely what preserves HOLBOX's authentic Mexican simplicity. English is good enough in tourist areas, but outside the markets, it is still warm Spanish. Americans feel like they are living real life, blending into local life instead of into a foreigner's settlement. Getting to HOLBOX is very easy. 180-day visa-free entry, fly to Cancun or Tulum, take a car to Chiquila, and then a 30-minute ferry. Healthcare is limited, but for those who want to live 3 to 6 months to recharge and save costs, HOLBOX is a rare option. Beautiful, cheap, peaceful. And the most special thing? HOLBOX gives back to you what busy American life has taken away. Silence, a connection with nature, and the feeling that life can be simple and still beautiful to the point of heartbreak. HOLBOX is not a place to run away. HOLBOX is a place for you to return. If you find this content helpful, please press like and subscribe so you don't miss the next journeys for Americans seeking a lighter, cheaper, and happier life. 1. Dominica, the place where retirement returns to its own wilderness. There are moments in life when you suddenly realize you are tired of crowds, of bills that rise every month, of a life with too much noise. And then you ask yourself, is there a place peaceful enough for me to truly breathe? Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean, is the gentle but powerful answer to that question. But the moment you will never forget is when the HOLBOX shoreline glows in the night. This is not the type of dazzling tourist paradise. Dominica is so pristine that it makes you hear the sound of deep forests, feel the warmth of hot springs, and see thin smoke rising from boiling lake, the hot volcanic lake. The beaches here are not white sand, but black volcanic sand. Not noisy, but full of strength and stillness. One thing that surprises Americans most is the unexpectedly low cost of living. According to Global Citizen Solutions, 2025, one person can live comfortably with $1,502,000 USD month, and staying under $1,500 USD is still possible if choosing a minimalist lifestyle. Food, rent, and utilities in Dominica are all much cheaper than in the US, making this one of the few Caribbean islands suitable for retirees with a moderate budget. Life in Dominica is peaceful in a strange way. The Afro-Caribbean locals are friendly, speak English, and work in agriculture, fishing, and sustainable tourism. There is no mass tourism, no crowded resorts, no noisy streams of people that tire you out. You can walk through Morne Trois Pitons National Park, UNESCO, dive among coral reefs in crystal-clear water, or sit on your porch watching the gentle rainforest rain. Time moves differently here. Americans receive a 6-month visa exemption, and traveling to Dominica is still easy even with connections. Thanks to using the Eastern Caribbean dollar compatible with USD, all transactions are simple. Dominica is not a place for you to run away from your old life. It is a place for you to begin a new chapter, lighter, greener, and more real. In the end, the most important thing these 5 islands show you is this: you are not stuck. You still have choices. You don't have to live in an increasingly expensive America, where retirement becomes a battle against prices. Out there are places where, with only $1,200 month, you have the sea, the sun, a clean home, and yourself again. Bali is peaceful, Palawan is blue, HOLBOX is slow, Dominica is wild, PHANGAN is free. Each place is not just a destination. They are doors opening to a life 70% lighter, 200% happier. Retirement is not an ending. It is a chance to rewrite your life chapter in a way America never allowed you to. If this video makes your heart open even a little, please press like and subscribe. Every week I will continue bringing you to places where Americans can truly live and live well.